Good afternoon. This is Ron Brown. It is December 2nd, 2022. It's 2:10 in the afternoon Central Time. The market's going to close in 50 minutes. The market has been weak throughout most of the day, or at least the Nasdaq, because of the strong jobs report that came out this morning. But it's working its way back up, and after shaking out a bunch of traders today, it looks like it could even turn positive before the day's over. But I'm not going to talk so much about the market right now or today. I'm going to talk about a potential technique you may want to use in your prospecting on the long side. So let's go ahead. Here's my standard risk disclaimer. You can pause and read it if you want to, but all trading strategies are used at your own risk. If you don't have High Growth Stock Investor, you should. You can download it at highgrowthstockinvestor.com. Take the 30-day trial. You don't have to use a credit card to have access to the software. If you download it and install it, you'll have to work out a little bit. It's not the easiest program, but it is one of the most powerful, and I'm going to show you some of that today. But let's go in here. I want to show you something that I've been thinking about. If you've been following me, or if you follow HGSI, you know what a box stock is. It's a stock that has consistent earnings growth, various types of earnings growth. There are box 1 through box 10 stocks. It's explained in the help file. Just go under help and type in HGS Box Stocks, and the data should come up. But this is a good place to look for stocks, because I know that there's 604 of these, and these numbers are updated all the time when the program is updating at night, when you see the fundamental data and so on calculating. And if a stock becomes a box stock or is eliminated from a box stock, this number will reflect only the ones that currently meet the criteria. But what I've been thinking is really this is the only place you need to go if you're a long-side trader, only because you have the comfort of knowing that these stocks are some sort of box stock that has consistent earnings based upon one of the criteria, I should say. So this is in the add-on, which is installed. These are just some other add-ons I put in, I'm experimenting with, but this is the one that's installed even with the basic stock installation. So I'm going to just use these box stocks right here, but here's all box stocks. These are the leading box stocks. These are leaders, $75 or less. These are within 10% of the 52-week high. These are counter trend box stocks, or the 3 below the 6, and these have pulled back near the 50-day moving average with the fan up. Now what I want to do, I've got a lot of material in here, a lot of scans, views, and so on, and those of you who know me know that I do too much of this, or make too many things, and it can be really confusing. So what I want you to do, if you're a HGSI user and an insider club, I'm going to drag just a couple of folders down here. I'm going to drag my one folder down to user groups, and then I'm going to go to the number 7 folder, which is the trending, micro, short, and intermediate term crossovers, which correspond to this chart over here. These charts, I just put in some bar charts. I'm experimenting with this. These will be under your number 11 folder. Just drag these down to the user views. And this is what I'm going to work with in this tutorial. Now in this folder, I have this chart, I have this weekly chart here, and then I have a daily bar chart with end of day statistics and intraday statistics. But I'll just start with these. And now you can see that I'm in the box stock leaders. And I'll bring this quick pick back up. So I'll just use these user groups out here. Now I had to drag this one down because these are the scans that I look at most days. But for this tutorial, rather so it doesn't get too long, I'm just going to go down to these trending stocks and show you what you can do with this if you want to find potential candidates. Now, like I said, the market was down most of the day, but a lot of these stocks have been up. And if I just, first of all, let me go to the basic one, which I am right here. This is my intraday chart or group, and you can see that I want to go to all box stocks. Okay, so out of the 604, this combo rank brings these stocks to the top of the list. It's a percent range and the percentage price change daily combined, and the stocks that meet those criteria come to the top of the list. And you can see that this stock has an effort to rise today, but this has been a leading stock recently. This information right here, and I made these trend charts, I guess I should explain that, because these colors represent different trends, and once you get used to looking at these, it'll tell you immediately what the trends are. So if I click right here and then look at the trends over here, look at the best fit trends, which are VPA trends based upon calculations within the program, tells me the long-term trend is up, medium's up, and the short-term's up with this dark green. Now here on the light green, long was up, medium was up, and the short was down. And then same thing here. Right here, all three of them were down on the red. This one, these are based upon some VPA moving average calculations. I can't remember the formula right now, but you don't really need to know it anyway. When it's blue, you can see the long-term trend is down, medium's up, and the short was down. It was consolidating here, and it was above the fan, or most of the fan, and then it broke out right here when the 3 went above the 6. Now, when the 3 goes above the 6, you're going to see a 0 up here in the warehouse in this column. This is the days since the crossover. Now, these are all box stocks. Now, I want to go down to these my other group that I dragged down here into my user groups, and I'm going to go into the trending, micro, short, and intermediate term. Now, by the micro, I'm going to make this an arrow, and I'll make it yellow. Okay, this is micro, the 3 and 6 day moving average. You can see it says micro right there. The 6 and the 18, short-term trend, and the 1850 is intermediate term trends. And these are represented by the histograms here. So when the 3 goes above the 6, this histogram goes from negative to positive. When the 6 goes above the 18, this turns positive or turns green on the histogram. And when the 18 is above the 50, this is positive. So you can see that all three of these are positive, and this stock, if I click back here, I need to click at all the trends are up, 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 which corresponds to this color over here. Also notice that the fan is in place. There's the 200, 100, the 50, the 18, and the microtrend. The 3 is above the 6. All of these histograms are positive. So this scan, if I apply this, should go to, I'm going to go down here to the number 4, which is the intermediate term trend up, fan up, end of day stocks and industry groups. In other words, these are stocks that at the end of the day met the criteria. Now, I'm using the same filter, but when I go down to 4A, it's the same list of stocks. Let's see, there are 156 here, and if I go to this one, it's the same 156. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the scan from the end of day where all these criteria were met, and then I am applying the intraday view, which is driven by that same combo, the percentage price intraday, percentage price change intraday, and it brings these strong stocks to the top of the list. Since this one has met all the criteria, VRDN, hit the space bar, VRDN. It should be in here. And there it is. It's down here at number 41. But it meets all those criteria of being above the moving averages. So the filter, if you're looking at number 4, these are the strongest stocks because the fan is in place and all the other moving averages are in place. Now if I go to number 3, these are many of the same stocks, but there's 307 of them because, if you look up here, because the fan is not in place. So if you want the strongest stocks, just go to number 4, cuts it down to 156, and then it's sorted by the combo rank. Now if you're looking for microtrend stocks that are just breaking out, there are only 29 of them breaking out right here with the 3 crossing the 6, but you can see that the short-term trend and the intermediate-term trend are still negative. So this is where you look for stocks that are just possibly starting to go again. Now, I see these are all white bars because I need 120 days or periods of data to start generating the trends, and there is a VPA flag, so this is just coming upon the time period. Or it meets the minimum qualifications, I should say. So you can locate stocks here that are just starting to move up if you like to buy these stocks, or if you want to find stocks that are bring this back up, that are short-term trend, in the short-term trend, which means that this histogram is positive and this histogram is positive, but the 18 hasn't crossed the 50 yet. But here's a stock that's starting to move. And then I'm going to go down to number 4 again, the strongest stocks. I'm going to sort on this. Going to bring this chart up, get this out of the way. And here's a weekly chart. You can see the trends here, designated by the trend color. And you can see that on the weekly chart, it's dark green. But to get the trend based upon the VPA trends, I go to the daily chart. You can see that this is light green. All 3 of these trends are up, and it's been light green for a long time. You can click on any bar, and it'll show you what the trends were then. Very handy. So I thought I would provide, myself with these bar charts so I can just look at the naked bar charts and get a feel for the strength in a stock. Now, like I said, this one has the histograms, but if you want to look at a daily bar chart with just the end of day data, or if you want the intraday data, you can look right here, and this tells me what's going on right now. It's December 2nd, 3:29 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is the way it's setting up. And notice that these stocks, if I flip through them, they should all be pretty strong. Let's just do this. Remember, the fan's up and the trends are up. And this last bar shows you how strong these stocks were today. Stocks that are trending have a tendency to keep trending. Now, this is a little bit sloppier here. It's sloppy on the weekly chart too. But it is a good way to look for stocks that are showing a lot of strength, and you can just flip through and look for candidates. I know that all the histograms are positive here just because I'm using the number 4 view, the intermediate trend up. Now I have the same thing for the downside. If you like to go short or play downside options, but I'm just showing you the upside of this and showing you these new bar charts that are going to be included in the add-on by the time you watch this video. This is just a quick introduction, and I will follow this up sometime soon with an online webinar, and we'll get more into this. Thanks for listening.